Chevy just dropped a truck that makes the Tacoma TRD Pro look like a rental car. This is the 2027 Chevrolet ZR2 TITAN 4000. And if the leaks are right, it's not just a refresh, it's a complete overhaul of what a midsize off-road truck should be. Now here's the thing. There's one feature under this hood that Toyota and Ford have absolutely no answer for. I'll get to that. Plus, when I found out the estimated price, let's just say it changes everything about who should actually buy this truck. Today we're breaking down the tech inside this cockpit, the aggressive new exterior, and whether the TITAN 4000 can actually back up that name. Let's get into it.
Alright, real talk. The first thing you notice about this truck isn't the size, it's the attitude. Look at that front end. Those blacked out horizontal grille bars sitting behind what looks like military-grade bumper armor. And those red recovery hooks? They're not decorative. They're rated for serious extraction work. But here's what most people are going to miss. Chevy didn't just bolt on some fender flares and call it a day. Word is, the TITAN 4000 was developed alongside GM Defense, the same division that builds the infantry squad vehicle for U.S. Army Special Operations. 90% of the ISV uses Colorado ZR2 parts, so when I say this truck has military DNA, I'm not exaggerating. Now, the current ZR2 already runs Multimatic DSSV dampers, the same shock technology used in Baja racing. But the TITAN 4000 takes it further with what insiders are calling an adaptive terrain response system. Think of it as predictive suspension. It reads the ground ahead using forward-facing sensors and pre-adjusts damping before you even hit the obstacle. That's not just off-road tech, that's borderline autonomous trail navigation. But let's be real, a truck can look tough all day. What matters is what happens when you sit inside. And the inside of this truck? It's not what you'd expect from a midsize pickup at all. Take a look at this dashboard. You've got a massive touchscreen running what appears to be an evolved version of Google built-in infotainment, sitting next to a fully digital instrument cluster. But here's what I actually love. They kept physical knobs for the climate control. The AC dial, the temperature controls, they're right there, tactile, easy to grab with gloves on. Chevy learned from the backlash. The current Colorado hides the headlight switch in the touchscreen, which is a terrible choice. It looks like the TITAN 4000 brings back more physical controls, and that's a win. Now, those seats. Look at that diamond stitch pattern with what appears to be leather and Alcantara, and the red contrast stitching runs everywhere. Door panels, center console, even the floor mats. It's giving premium SUV energy in a truck that's built to get muddy. Well, what's wild is the ambient lighting. That red glow wrapping around the doors, under the dash, across the center console, it turns this cabin into something that looks like it belongs in a $50,000 luxury vehicle, not a mid-sized truck. The center console has a chunky gear selector with drive mode and parking brake buttons right at your fingertips. And check out that digital cluster. The speedo goes to 160 miles per hour with a tach redlining at 8,000 RPM. That's ambitious for a truck. It hints at something serious under the hood. Now, I gotta be honest, the rear seat in the current Colorado is cramped. If you're over 6 feet, your knees are touching the front seat. From these images, it looks like Chevy might have added an inch or two of legroom, and those rear seats appear to have the same diamond stitch treatment as the fronts. That's nice. But until I see actual measurements, I'm skeptical this solves the Colorado's biggest weakness. Now, remember that cluster showing 160 miles per hour? We're getting to why that matters, but first, let's talk about what this truck looks like from the outside.
All right, I need to stop for a second. That adaptive terrain response system I mentioned earlier, it's only half the story. Because what Chevy reportedly paired it with under the hood, that's what's going to make Ford and Toyota lose sleep. Stick with me.
So let's break down this design, because there's a lot going on. The front fascia is dominated by that blacked-out grille with integrated tow hook mounts and what look like repositioned fog lights sitting lower in the bumper. The fender flares are massive. These aren't bolt-ons. They look like they're sculpted into the body. The overall stance is wider and more planted than the current ZR2, we're speculating a wheelbase around 131 inches with an overall length pushing 213 inches. That's a few inches longer than today's Colorado. The ground clearance looks significantly higher, probably sitting around 11 to 12 inches, which would beat the current ZR2's 10.7 inches. Around back, you've got a full-width LED taillight bar with bold Chevrolet lettering stamped across the tailgate. Dual rear tow hooks in red, and look at those rear fender flares. They're tucking in what appear to be 35-inch or possibly even 37-inch mud terrain tires on matte black beadlock-style wheels. Here's my design take. This will age well. It's aggressive without being cartoonish. The Tacoma TRD Pro looks like it's trying too hard. The Ranger Raptor looks great, but plays it safe. This looks like it was designed to intimidate, and it pulls it off. But looks mean nothing if this thing can't perform. So let's talk about what's under the hood. The current Colorado ZR2 runs a 2.7-liter Turbo Max 4-cylinder, making 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. That's solid, but that 160 mile-per-hour speedo and 8,000 RPM tack, that tells me the Titan 4000 isn't getting the standard tune. Here's my speculation. We're looking at a high-output variant of the Turbo Max, potentially pushing 350 to 380 horsepower, with torque climbing north of 470 pound-feet. Pair that with an optimized 8-speed or possibly a new 10-speed automatic, and you've got a mid-sized truck that could hit 0 to 60 in the low 5-second range. And here's the big one. What if Chevy integrates a 48-volt mild hybrid system? Not for fuel economy, for instant electric torque at low speeds. Imagine crawling over boulders with near-silent electric assist, filling in the gaps where a Turbo 4 falls flat. That would be a game-changer for rock crawling, and it would give the Titan 4000 something no Tacoma or Ranger has. Compared to the Tacoma TRD Pro's 326 horsepower and the Ranger Raptor's 405, the Titan 4000 would sit right in the fight, but with that hybrid low-end torque, it could be the smartest performer in the segment. Hot take? 4-cylinder or not, if this hits 370-plus horsepower with electric assist, nobody's gonna miss the V6. Nobody. So the big question, is it worth it? Almost there, but there's one last thing.
All right, here's where I get really honest with you. I've covered a lot of trucks on this channel, and most of the time, the next generation is just a facelift with a press release. The Titan 4000 is different, and when you hear my verdict on the price, you'll understand why this truck might be the most important midsize pickup of the decade.
Let's talk money. The current ZR2 starts at around $50,500, and the Bison Edition pushes past $62,000. My estimate for the Titan 4000, we're looking at $55,000 to $58,000 base, potentially cresting $68,000 fully loaded. That sounds like a lot for a mid-sized truck, but context matters. The Ford Ranger Raptor sits at around $57,000. The Tacoma TRD Pro with the supercharger, north in $60K. If the Titan 4000 delivers military-grade suspension, hybrid-assisted torque, and this level of interior refinement at $56K, that's actually competitive. That's where the value is. Now, here's the real talk. 3 things the Titan 4000 gets right. First, the adaptive terrain response paired with Multimatic dampers. If it works as described, nothing in the midsize segment touches it. Second, the interior is a massive leap. That red ambient writing, diamond stitch Alcantara, physical climate knobs, it actually feels premium now. Third, the military DNA is real, not marketing fluff. GM defense collaboration means this truck was stress-tested in ways civilian competitors weren't. But let's be real about the weaknesses. The 2.7-liter 4-cylinder, no matter how tuned, will turn off buyers who emotionally want a V6 or V8 rumble. Perception matters. Second, if the rear seat hasn't genuinely grown, families are going to struggle on longer trips. And third, fuel economy. The current ZR2 gets 17 mpg combined. Add a potential hybrid system and bigger tires, expect 16, maybe 15 mpg. That's painful at the pump. Many gearheads are going to rave about the tech and the stance, but others will gripe that Chevy's asking near Raptor money for a 4-cylinder midsize. That's the tension. So, should you buy it? Here's my honest take. If you're someone who actually goes off-road, not mall crawling, actual trail driving, the Titan 4000 is going to be the smartest truck you can buy. The suspension tech alone justifies the price. But if you're buying a truck because it looks cool and you'll never leave pavement, save 10 grand and get the Z71. The Titan 4000 is built for people who use their trucks, and for that audience, this thing just humiliated everything else on the market. Remember how I said this truck makes the Tacoma TRD Pro look like a rental car? After breaking down the tech, the interior, and the engineering, I stand by it 100%. I said it, the 2027 Chevy ZR2 TITAN 4000 is the most important midsize truck of the decade. Fight me in the comments. And speaking of comments, what truck do you want me to cover next? Drop it below. If you want more real talk about trucks, hit subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.